Hi everyone, good morning to all of you, and a very, energetic morning for all of you. I know many of you who have been following me on the transform session, me and Dr. Deepthi every day. And yesterday I gave you the timelines for NEET PG 2025. During the time when I was giving the timelines for NEET PG 2025, I got a lot of students sending me a message, sir, what about us? And these are the children who are right now doing internship or who are now starting internship, and they're going to be writing the NEET PG in 2026. And they had a query, sir, what about us? So in the beginning of the session today, I will address the children who we missed out yesterday or who are preparing for the NEET PG 2026. When you're an intern, the most important challenge that you face is your busy internship. The most important challenge that you face is your busy internship. Now, what do we mean by busy internship? And let me help you by the thought process. Let me just see. So, if you're able to hear me and see me, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. So, first question I have is, if you are now starting internship and you feel it is very busy, how do we manage it? What do we do about it? So, my answer number one to you is, in internship there are some principles to be followed. Number one is, stick to high yield, don't accumulate too many resources. If you're in a busy internship and you're preparing for your NEET PG exam, if you accumulate too much resources, your entire preparation will go haywire because you don't have enough time to sort it out. So the first thing that I talked about was that in internship, if it is busy, we start with the your most important thing will be that you don't accumulate too much material because you don't have time to sort it out, because you're having a posting also, and during the posting you have to work also, you get tired also, you cannot accumulate too much material, then you will not have time to sort it out. Number two rule of internship is, okay, don't let a single day go waste. Even if it is a bad day, even if you're busy on that day, don't let it go waste. I'll tell you how. Now, suppose I get only half an hour. Even in that half an hour, also, I would want you to study a little bit. Don't let even that tiny bit of time go waste because it will all count. इंटर्नशिप में परेशानी सिर्फ तब होती है व्हेन व्हाट यू डू इज दैट कि सर ये वाला पूरी पोस्टिंग नहीं पढ़ूंगा, अगली से पढ़ना शुरू करूंगा, तब तक इट बिकम्स टू टफ टू डू. You can't postpone it. You have to study and make every single day count. If it is a lighter posting, you will cover bigger subjects, but even if it's a smaller posting, at least cover some part of it. The third rule of internship will be that you learn everywhere. You learn everywhere means that even if you are in a, say, OT, try to see what is happening. Even if you're in a ward, try to see what is happening, what kind of catheter is used, what is an IV cannula look like, what is the color scheme, what is written on a police catheter, what do we mean by the word French. Start getting those ideas. And the rule of internship is, learn everywhere, don't accumulate too much material, learn every day. Even if it is less or small, it doesn't matter. Number two rule for people who are starting now in internship will be, you analyze your current status. Analyze your current status means you need to look back and see, when did I start studying for my competitive exam, and am I have I was I already doing a foundation course or a regular course in my final year or third year? Have I made my own notes? Am I good at the content? Have I started doing MCQs or not? You need to analyze your current status. Once you analyze your current status, you need to build a plan with the four pillars of success. I'll help you with the four pillars. Whenever we start preparing, the first pillar is your content. Content means that you need to have some notes with you. I want you to understand that, like, how what will you revise in the end? In the end, you will revise your notes. So, do I have my notes? And so, how will you acquire the content? There are three methods at DAMS. Is either you do a face-to-face class or a ultimate live class, or a self-paced recorded, which is called as the back to basics. You can use any of them. But the key thing I want you to understand is, you need to use in the back to basics a feature called as Cortex AI. Now, if you're starting now, the biggest challenge is that you are looking at some other students who have started in second year MBBS, third year MBBS. You're starting now, so you need to go faster. Any of the live courses on the DAMS platform, your face to face, ultimate live, they are in a 6 to 7 month cycle. Around 7 month cycle is there, maybe. So you're able to cover everything in a live class in either of them in 7 to 7 months, and you can use back to basics if you want to do it in 4 to 6 months using the Cortex AI feature. Cortex AI feature is the game changer. It will give you summary of every lecture, so that after listening to the lecture, just see the summary and you have every important golden point with you. The second step that you need to follow is MCQ skill. If you are starting now, I want you to be doing 50 MCQs every day from your DQB Gold. Now, why I want 50 MCQs? I want you to do them in the morning itself. I want you to do them in the morning itself. Okay. And you need to make a habit of 50. If you do 50 for 1 year, you're winning the game. 50 for 1 year. I'm telling for the children who are starting for the 2026 NEET PG, and you've joined the dams in different courses, and now you're wanting to know what should be my strategy. 50 MCQs every day. Now, what is difference in our question bank is the each question comes with a video explanation, and we have kept a very pragmatic approach to the choices elimination. So the choices will be like this: you have to see why A is the answer, why B is not the answer, why C is not the answer, why D is not the answer. And the next step will be your testing. The first level of testing will be your class tests. Revision, you will use the SWTs. You will use monthly grand test. At the end of the year, you will do mock tests and CBTs. So that should be the approach for your testing. And in the final phase, we will help you with revision with live rapid revision, DVT, and PYQ kebab. So I thought, I should be telling you all this so that you have an idea that abhi, kyunki when you are starting NEET PG 2026 aspirants, you hear a lot of students talking about LRR, DVT. That is the revision part. That is not the starting point. You will start with either a face-to-face classroom or Ultimate Live or Back to Basics. Use the AI tool, Cortex AI tool, to accelerate your preparation. You will do daily MCQs, class tests. Initial phase, a monthly grand test is good enough. So don't get confused by my yesterday's video, which was a timeline for NEET PG 2025 aspirants. Today I want to tell you about 2026 aspirants. You will start with the content. The content will be your back to basics or ultimate live or face to face, depending on where you are and what is your preference. Then MCQ skill will be 50 MCQs every day. There should be no day that you miss it. First test you will give is class test. SWT we will give in the revision phase. Grand test monthly. Gradually before the exam we will take it up to a weekly interval, but initially monthly. Mock test and CBTs you will do towards the end of your journey. And in the end revision, we will use LRR, DVT, and PYQ kebab. Reason I am telling you this is because we see a lot of confusion. Different students are, like many students who are starting their NEET PG preparation for 2026 are saying, sir, should I start DVT now? DVT will be the looking back approach when you look back. Okay. So that is my purpose for today's video, was to talk about your NEET PG 2026 strategy. Many children wanted use to know about it. So now I come back to the original agenda behind Transform. I want you to tell me what are your queries and what is it that you want me to address today. Other than the NEET PG 2026 strategy, I know many of you have your own queries. I will take one query that I am getting very often. Sir, am I good enough? Many students keep asking me this question: am I good enough? Do I belong to the table or not? You know, so every time I just wanted to tell you, every time when I was in school, I used to think that the children who are in medical college must be so hi-fi that maybe I don't belong there. But when I reached there and after a few days of interacting with other people, I realized we are all good enough. So same thing has happened to me multiple times. Whenever I started anything in my life, I've always felt, am I good enough? Do I really belong to the table? Am I good enough to talk to these people? And gradually I realized each one of us has our own pluses and minuses, our own insecurities, self-doubt, and you are as good as you believe yourself to be. So my message for you for today's transform is, you are as good as you believe yourself to be. So it is in your hand. It is not in the hand of the world. आपके खुद के हाथ में है. So you belong to the table. You deserve to be a great doctor. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter which college you are studying. It doesn't matter how much you have studied. It is now in your hand. Okay. Now I see a question by Sanvi. Sir, I missed the live DVD classes. Should I now do daily one subject along with daily MCQs, or I do DVD in one go continuously? Sanvi, I would suggest you do them in one go continuously, because I can smell procrastination in your other approach. If you will say, I'll do one, then perfect, do other MCQs, it will never happen and you will keep messing it up. Do them continuously. And before that, don't come back to me if you don't do them, finish them in continuously. Okay. And one bacha is saying, I gave my CBT and GT last week, 90 correct. Now, when you're getting 90 correct, beta, the most important thing is your content. That means only giving a test will not help you to up your scores. You need to know your content. I would strongly recommend, if you have not done DVT so far, do DVT. If you have done DVT, add live rapid revision for your weak subjects. That is the best method to do to make sure that you are able to give yourself a jump. Okay. LRR DVT. Okay. So, any more queries I'm happy to take. I only want you to know you belong to every table in the world. You belong to every opportunity. You have the power. ये अपने आप को rule out मत करना. I've seen many children do the same mistake. I'll give you an example, and that is something I want to tell the NEET PG 2026 aspirants also, and even the aspirants who are appearing for the next November INICET also. Many times we believe that maybe I'm from a peripheral college, a private college, a foreign graduate, and we think that maybe the central institutes are not for me, and you don't take them seriously. And later on, you realize that the paper was not tough. When you give the paper, you realize it is doable. So, my suggestion, my request to you is, and it is very, very important, that don't rule yourself out before you play this. Try evaluating yourself objectively using grand test and your daily quizzes, but don't let don't give up on yourself. Okay. And एक बच्चा कह रहा है, sir, what should be my medicine neurology approach to pulmonology for FMG exam? So FMG exam, I would suggest that I think it's a good question, and many students have asked me this also. So tomorrow's transform we will address primarily the FMG aspirants who are appearing for the FMG this year. So if you're appearing for the FMGA in the July this year, my suggestion will be go with the DFX revision only. So because right now we are in April, so maybe you can go with the DFX approach, your class notes plus DFX. Or another thing you can do is you need to know that in FMG exam, the papers are the paper two, the medicine paper, the surgery, medicine, obstetrics, gynae is a very clinical paper. So try understanding the concept instead of rote learning. एफएमजी एग्जाम है ना सिद्धार्थ, मेरा सिर्फ इतना आपको कहना है कि ये मत करना कि मैं सिर्फ कुछ याद करके चला जाऊं, मुश्किल होगा. कोशिश करते हैं समझने की. और टुमारोज ट्रांसफॉर्म आई गिव यू द टाइमलाइंस एंड आई ट्राई टू गिव यू द अप्रोच कि कहाँ तक हमें अपने आप को रोकना है कि यार इसके आगे हम रिवीजन शुरू करेंगे. टुमारो विल टॉक अबाउट द टाइमलाइंस फॉर मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट एग्जाम. ओके. And I see another query. Is DVT enough for shorter subjects? Do I need to add LRR along with it? Snail, usually DVT is considered enough for shorter subjects. But if you have time and you are getting questions wrong, Snail, it will also depend on if you're getting questions wrong and you are not getting those questions right. I would suggest use LRR along with it. For example, in radiology itself, I have used a slightly different approach in both the products, and I feel if you add them, you will get more questions correct. So DVT is good enough, but if you are still getting it wrong or you're getting questions wrong in the short subjects, add LRR for that subject. Jay Thakur, my grand test is 80 corrects. What should I do? Only have 60 days now. Jay LRR and DVT. 80 करेक्ट मतलब कंटेंट कम है. कोई भी प्रकार का एमसीक्यू का जुगाड़ नहीं जिता पाएगा. रिवीजन करना पड़ेगा, कंटेंट चाहिए. तो खाली डीवीटी नहीं, डीवीटी और एलआरआर दोनों करने पड़ेंगे. इन 60 days you can easily do both LRR and DVT fully. So that should be your goal, beta. Okay. So I think we end today's transform at this note that we belong to every opportunity. We have equal potential. You have the same amount of brain parenchyma that Einstein had. You had the same circumstances. You have everything with you. All I have learned in my life is that if I say I am good enough, things start happening. If I rule myself out, I become insecure, then everything disintegrates, सब टूट जाता है, सब गिर जाता है. अगर आप अपने ऊपर ये मना लोगे ना कि मैं काफी हूँ, मैं एडुकेट हूँ, एंड यू राइट इट इन द कमेंट बॉक्स, आई एम एनफ, आई एम enough, that is good enough. Okay. And I'll take a final query, sir. How do we cover more content in a deeper way? Usually, to learn in a deep way, it is always good to learn with the mentors. I always tell students that if you want to understand any concept better, it is better to do it live, either on an app live or face to face. Because what will happen is that when you're reading in a recorded lecture, you are the king. You are pausing the lecture wherever you want to. But whenever you are in the classroom, wherever you are in the classroom, it is a teacher governed method. So when the teachers are asking a question and then explaining, asking question then explaining, your brain, your cognitive cortex or your prefrontal cortex is activating, and that is where you inform the deep concepts. Deep concepts are very important, especially for central exams like INICET. They test you for your deeper concepts. Okay. And I just want you to know you are enough for everything in the world. Tell yourself you have the power to change your destiny. Keep reminding yourself this. So I wish you all the best. अपना टाइम आएगा नहीं, अपना टाइम अपन खुद लाएगा.